Greetings, welcome back to PinkOddBird. Today we're going to take a look at these are really cute produce themed journals. If you didn't see the video that I showed where I showed how to make these, you can check my last video, or I'll try and link it up here in the little letter I so that you can take a look at it later. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so in my last video I showed you how I made these little traveler's notebook produce themed journals. I have 5 in total. However, 3 of them are already sold. So that leaves these 2. So I'm going to show you a flip through of these 2. I'm going to post these up in my Etsy shop, which will be linked in the description box down below, and they will be there until they're not. So these are pretty, like, I tried to make them kind of plain so that people would be able to like actually use these as garden journals if they wanted to. Like, I know that, hold on. I don't think there's ever going to be a day where it goes from noisy to quiet when you start recording. It's always going to go from quiet to noisy every single time. So anyway, I wanted people to be able to use these to actually like grid out their gardens or plan what they are doing in their gardens, blah, blah, blah. Press some leaves or flowers or whatever the case may be, whatever you have in your garden that you're planting for the season. That's what this book is meant for. So I'm going to do a flip through. I used a Tsunami Rose for the cover, and I just thought this was really cute because it's just like a nice little collage of a bunch of different vintage stuff. And I left the cover plain because I just thought this was really nice to enjoy. It's a paper cover on this one. There's minimal fabric stuff here. I guess it's not really minimal, but you know, there's some fabric stuff here, I guess I should say. It's not overloaded. That way the journal still is pretty closed, you know, when it's closed, and you still have a lot of room to grow in this. I don't know. I think there's going to probably be a little over 60, maybe 70 pages in here or so. So there's lots of room to make this journal your own. So up at the front here, I have some tags in here. Of course, the backs are plain so that you're able to add your own whatever you want to the backs of them. Okay. Little recipe cards. Some coffee dyed paper. Pockets, of course, with some more small tags. I think the tags and these pages come from Calico Collage. This is a piece of fabric from a shirt that was damaged, so I just used the fabric so it wouldn't go to waste. Flip out. You could always close it to make it an actual pocket. Sorry, my camera keeps moving because I keep hitting it in a weird spot, and that shouldn't be happening, but it's okay. We're going to keep on going. I've added these little band-aids in. They're shaped like pickles, so if you're on the go somewhere and you're injuring yourself somehow, you need a band-aid. You've got little pickle band-aids in there. I always try to add the flip outs, especially in traveler's notebooks, because it gives more space. I did some stamping, some vintage graph paper, little belly band, and you can even journal here if you want to. This little chili dilly paper bag, and then inside of it are some little pickle stickers, just different pickle stickers you could use in your journal. This is center. Some big tags. Pockets. Really pretty. All these pages you could use for collaging or just enjoy the graphics. There's some more stamping. Little flips so you can do some writing underneath there. Little piece of ephemera with some little journaling cards on the inside. Vintage, more vintage engineering paper. This is another vintage paper here. This is vintage calligraphy paper, which is really cool. Some more tags. This is a vintage Vera napkin. It's a little watermelon. This is really cool. You could also use this for decoupaging. There's another big tag here. There's my stamp, and that is this one. We'll call this one Summerdale. So I'll list this one up as Summerdale. Okay, and the second one that I have available, we'll call this one Mallerie. So again, they are both closed with Sari Silk. About same number of pages in this one also. Got the big tag there in the front. Recipe cards, pretty digital papers, some fabric tabs and such. These are like my favorite kinds of journals, and actually I have one of these of my own that I made for myself, and I use it for when I go to traveling. I use it to write about the restaurants that I eat at, because I mean it's also kind of fitting. It's like, sure, it's produce themed, so you could take it in the direction of like garden, but also make it a actual like traveling book where you can document like foods that you're eating, restaurants that you eat at, who you're with. Kind of fun to do something like that also, which is what I use my personal one for. It's a belly band there. These are little pickle band-aids. Parsnip. There's a pocket, flip out there, but there's also a little pocket right here. There's your chili dilly with your stickers. The old chili dilly. Little flip up here. Flip out. So I hope you guys like these. Thank you guys for bearing with me, for being here. I know I don't have as many videos posting up currently because I'm really, really busy. I'm also in the process of moving to a whole nother state, which is really sad for me. But I'm still here, and I will be getting ready to, once I get all settled into my, there's my stamp, into my new home, I'm going to start working on Halloween. So that way we have, you know, our usual Halloween shenanigans as we usually do here on PinkOddBird. I think that's something that, you know, could never go, you know, unaddressed. Also, custom orders. I didn't forget about you. I know you're still there. I promise I haven't forgotten about you. Thank you for your patience and bearing with me. So these two are going to be up in my Etsy shop. I hope you guys will take a look if you're interested. If not, they'll just be there until they're gone. I think that's all I have for right now. Maybe later on I'll post like a bigger update on like what's all happening with like life stuff and everything like that. And then, you know, we can resume into crafting as we do. But I think that is going to wrap it up for me for now. Be sure to stay tuned because you never know what direction this odd flock of ours is heading into. And until next time, toodaloo.